Chris's cousin, and I'm a judge in the state of Wisconsin. And I said, am I legal to marry you guys in the state of Illinois? And Chris assured me that I was. At least in this county. So I never doubted a thing Chris has told me over the years. But I had a dream last night that my grandfather, my papu, our papu, I was doing the vows for him. But Yaya wasn't around, so I didn't sure. I couldn't get him assembled to do the vows. Everyone was telling stories. I'm like, all right, well, this is a good premonition from today. So it's an honor, an absolute honor for me to be able to do this for you too. So we'll go through. The ceremony's not long, so we can start eating. It's good Greek food pretty soon. So, but last time I was in this room, it was your parents'
50th anniversary. Yeah. 8 years ago.
A nice way to commemorate this. And to bring it full circle. So.
Perfect.
So Cindy and Chris, you're about to enter into a union that is most sacred and most serious. It's most sacred because it's been established by God himself. It is most serious because it'll bind you together for the rest of your lives in a relationship so close and so intimate that it'll profoundly influence your whole future. The future with its hopes and disappointments, success and failures, pleasures and pains, and joys and sorrows are hidden from your eyes today. You know these elements are mingled in every life and are to be expected in your own. And not knowing what is before you, you take each other for better, for worse, for richer or poorer, in sickness and health, until death do you part. Truly, then, these words are most serious. It's a beautiful tribute to your undoubted faith in God and in each other, that recognizing their full import, you nevertheless are so willing and ready to pronounce them. And because these words involve such solemn obligations, it's most fitting that you rest the security of your wedded life upon this great principle of self-sacrifice. While you remain unique and beautiful individuals, your lives are forever joined, your hearts will become one filled with love. And whatever sacrifices you make hereafter, be required to make them in order to enjoy this common life, and always make them selflessly. When you give out a love for the good of each other, it becomes a joy and a source of strength in your marriage. We are willing to give in proportion as we love, and when love is perfect, the sacrifice is complete. And with all this in mind, do the two of you still wish to be married? All right, it's a good answer. We want to bring everybody here for you to say, I don't know. Pursuant to the laws of the state of Illinois, and by virtue of the powers vested in me as a magistrate, empowered to legalize and solemnize the marriage of these citizens, you each meeting all legal requirements to be married. Now, therefore, pursuant to the foregoing, I ask you in the presence of these witnesses, Chris, will you have Cindy to be your lawfully wedded wife to live in the holy estate of matrimony?
Yes.
Will you love her, honor her, and cherish her, and keep her in sickness and in health, forsaking all others, as long as both of you shall live?
Yes.
And Cindy, will you have Chris to be your lawfully wedded husband to live in the holy estate of matrimony? And will you love him, honor him, and cherish him, and keep him in sickness and health, forsaking all others, as long as both of you shall live? We will now have the ring exchanged. Apparently the best. You didn't lose the ring, so that's good. And if you could get Cindy's ring, repeat after me, Chris.
Okay.
Cindy, with this ring I thee wed.
Cindy, with this ring, I thee wed.
And with God's help,
And with God's help,
I promise you my love
I promise you my love
and fidelity.
and fidelity.
Yes, wow, you didn't skimp, good job. And Cindy, if you would repeat after me. Chris, with this ring,
Chris, with this ring,
I thee wed.
I thee wed,
And with God's help,
and with God's help,
I promise you my love
I promise you my love
and fidelity.
and fidelity.
Having so mutually agreed and promised before God, the law, and these witnesses, I, by virtue of the authority vested in me, pronounce you husband and wife. Congratulations. Kiss your bride.
Let's eat. My speech will be coming, so make sure there's plenty of Kleenexes around. For you?
And that's my husband, Michael.
Yeah, we are. Again, thanks so much for coming. We love everyone here. So I just wanted to say a couple of things. Somewhere in this speech, I'm going to be crying, so I'm going to tell you up front. So. But basically, here's what happened. So, for the longest time after my divorce, wait, hold on, let me compose myself. I'm done. Don't worry, right. Okay.
Deep breaths.
So, here's what happened to my life in the last 15, 16 years. You know, I found myself in relationships, I found myself out of relationships, but all along I kept my focus on Dean.
Yeah.
So, I was able to focus my attention on the good stuff in my life. And now that he's, hold on, one more second. Okay, I'm done.
Can we get some more cheese?
So here's what happened. So now, you know, we're getting to this pinnacle right now where Dean's like at the footstep of the rest of his life. And he's doing fantastic, this kid. And so... All right, done. So what
Hey,
happened
Chris.
was...
Your family and your friends love you intensely. And whatever you say is always beautiful.
So here's what happened in my life. So I started, you know, I found myself not alone, because I don't think I'm ever alone in this world. But I found myself buying this old house and putting everything I had into this house, just my heart and soul and fingertips and everything. And for a year, I just kind of cleansed everything, you know, and just. So what happened is. Okay, I'm really getting good at this. Cut it off. No, not yet. So here's what happened. So the house is like running like a top. It's everything's looking beautiful. I go online and I meet a few ladies and you know this and that and then I get an email from Cindy, or I reached out to you, but just a quick hello online. And so she writes back and says, I really like your profile, but it's kind of a deal breaker for me that you're not a Christian. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? So, you know, and I didn't, at that point, I didn't even like, you know, I looked at her profile and everything looked really cool. She was in education, this and that, and it all sounded really good, but I wasn't thinking on those terms of like, you know, I'm going to pursue this because I didn't even know her, you know? And so, you know, so she writes back and says that I'm not a Christian. I write her back and go, you know what? I appreciate what you said because it made me go back to the profile and read it really intensely. And you could take it that I was not a Christian. So I wrote her back and I said, I am definitely a Christian. I am born and bred and raised a Christian. And so then it kind of got the juices flowing here, you know. So we met on Fridays for a drink, and the first thing I said to her was, "You are 10 times as pretty." And so, you know, I left that night after a drink with her during the week. You know, we both have work the next day. At least she does because she has a real job. So, but I left her thinking, you know, here is a really, really sweet person, and something just happened here. So I asked her for, it was either the next day or the day after. I said, listen, and I knew I was going out on a limb on this one. So I had this party that I was invited to, this group that I worked with in the city. And they invited me after, I haven't seen these people in 25 years. So someone passed away in this company that I knew, and they wanted me there because I was kind of part of the crew back then. And so I called Cindy and I said, this is crazy, but do you want to go to this crazy funeral party? And I promise, this is a fun group of people, and it's just kind of like a memorial. You're not going to know anybody, but I think we're going to have a good time. And she says, yeah. So we're on our way downtown. We go to the River North area, this place called Club Lago, really cute little place. And so we have this nice lunch, we're talking, and so after the luncheon was over, I go, it was just the most beautiful, like, early fall day. We walked all the way from River North, all the way to Navy Pier, and they had the big boats out. Everything was perfect that day. And so after like a half hour, I just reached over and I kissed her and I said, now we got it out of the way. And ever since that moment, I've seen it. I'm really doing good here because you guys know me. I'd be like bawling like a baby by now. But I'm not. I got one more thing I want to share with you. I think I wrote this morning. It's just a little thing here. Okay. It's just, this is my toast. When I was a lot younger, I fell in love, but was not ready for the responsibility. And I didn't have the knowledge to make it a lifelong commitment. For years and years, I never gave up looking for that feeling again. I never gave up looking for that feeling again, and then I met Cindy. So this is a toast to enduring love and never giving up, a little bit of luck and a lot of faith, and I thank God for giving me another opportunity for real love.
Wonderful couple.